So about 2 years ago now, I made my second video of accessories for your laptop or your netbook. And a good while back now, I had a request for making a third one of these. And I decided, well, I might as well. I had to see what I could find, because I wasn't sure what other accessories I could find, but actually I managed to find a couple that I had here, so I'll quickly go over them. And so we'll start with what's in the middle here. Now, in one of my previous videos, I talked about the Thermaltake Mobile Fan 2, and that was a 3-inch fan with a USB retractable cord with a variable resistor for controlling your fan speed. Now, this one here is the bigger brother of that. This is the Mobile Fan 12. This is a 4-inch fan, and it's very similar to the Mobile Fan 2, which is the 3-inch version. This runs at about half the RPM, but you've got a larger amount of air or airflow out of it, being a 4-inch diameter fan. Still has the same variable speed control, depending on how fast you want the blades to go. This did have a stand on it, like the 3-inch one did. However, that one broke on me, so I just went ahead and removed it. So it kind of just sits like that when I want to use it. I actually use it for cooling down this mobile hotspot, and since I mentioned that, we'll go on to that one there. Now, whenever you're traveling with your laptop or your netbook, or even tablets nowadays, when you don't have an internet connection or a Wi-Fi hotspot that you want to use, it may be wise to carry something like this around, a mobile 3G or 4G hotspot. And what this allows is you get a contract, or you can get one like this from Virgin Mobile that's not on a contract, and you just pay monthly service when you want it for a certain amount of data. And you take this with you, and when you turn it on, it will connect up to either a 3G or 4G signal depending on the coverage that's in your area, and it will allow you to connect up to 5 Wi-Fi enabled devices to this, and all share that 3G or 4G data signal. And this is the Sierra Wireless Overdrive Pro that Virgin Mobile sells. I have an account through them. I usually get 5 gigs on this for when I need it. It's about $55 a month for that, for 5 gigs of 3G data. Then you've got 10 gigs of unlimited 4G, and that's 10 gigs of high speed. After 10 gigs, it's throttled to pretty much next to nothing. There are some extras with a mobile hotspot like this. For instance, there is a micro SD card slot on it, so this will also function as a network storage interface. So you can put a micro SD card in there, and any computers or tablets that can connect to this can see that micro SD card as a network storage drive, so you can send and receive files off of that. You can also tether your computer to it via USB, so if you want to tether directly to this over a USB connection, you just connect it to the bottom. And also with this, there's actually a 3G and 4G antenna port, so you can connect up an external 3G or 4G antenna if you want to boost the signal of this. Putting that aside, move on to this. Now, a couple of years ago, a new technology from Intel came out, and it was called wireless display, or WIDI. And what you needed it first started out with the Blue Label laptops that Best Buy sold. It started with the E205 that Toshiba came out with a couple of years ago. And what it does, it incorporates a Intel Core i family series processor, which is your Core i3, i5, i7 series processors with the Intel onboard graphics. And at the time they were using that, it was the 4500 MHD, I believe. Of course, they've got much newer versions now. And putting those together, along with a compatible Intel Wi-Fi card that had the wireless display technology built in with it, allowed you to stream the video and audio that's currently being displayed on your laptop to your TV using one of these. And this is what they call the WIDI set-top box, or similar. So what you would do is, This is the Netgear PTB 1000 Witty display box. And of course, it's the first one that came out at the time. This has ports for both HDMI and composite video. So you can connect it to an HD TV, or if you get an older model television, you can use the composite RCA connections. There's a newer version of this, the PTB 2000, that gets rid of those composite connections. It only has the HDMI interface, but the trade-off is that one supports HD resolution. This does not. But with newer computers that have the wireless display, you can push that video and audio to your television. And it's much better now because you can have computers that can have that lower Intel onboard graphics coupled with a discrete graphics card. So when you want to push stuff to your TV, you switch to the Intel card, but if you want gaming performance, you can switch to your discrete graphics. Now the catch with this is, this works on a 2.4 gigahertz band. So if you connect to your wireless router with a 5 gigahertz band, you will have to switch to a 2.4 gigahertz band to use this. You can't use the wireless display functionality on a 5 gigahertz connection. And it won't work simultaneously with 2.4 and 5, so you got to switch to 2.4 if you want to take advantage of that. Let's see, I guess I can get this out of the way. Now, when it comes to security for your laptop and netbooks, most all of these computers come with what's called the Kensington lock on them. It's just a little tiny slot on the computer. I just happen to have the Asus X55A that I did an unboxing for a while ago. If you look near there, that's your Kensington lock. It's just a little cutout on the side of the laptop that you put this through. It's very simple. You've got a loop on one end, and you've got your keyed lock on the other. What you do is you pass the lock end through here on a structure that's not going to go anywhere. You insert your key into the lock, turn it, and then that locks it to that cable. Now this is a very generic cable. There's stronger ones out there. There's also some advanced ones made by Targus, for instance, makes one that has an alarm built into it. So it actually will sound the alarm if the cable is cut, and it also has a built-in motion detection. So if someone is fiddling with your laptop trying to get it out or something, it'll detect that motion and actually set the alarm off. So it's got two advantages. Continuing on here, let's talk a little bit about laptop memory. Now, first thing is there's always probably a need for a lot of people to upgrade their laptop hard drive to expand it. This is your average size 2.5-inch hard drive used in laptops. Now this is a bad drive here that is kind of just for display. It doesn't work, but if you want to upgrade more storage space in your computer, you can get a bigger hard drive and install it. And it's relatively easy, depending on how the computer is set up. There's a little something on a side note about that, but I'll discuss it with the memory add-on because they kind of go together. And some computers, like the Toshiba Cosmio X500 I've got, have a second hard drive bay that isn't occupied by anything. So if you want to expand your hard drive that way, you can just buy another hard drive and install it in there if your computer supports that. The one thing you'll have to remember is you'll need a way to move all your data from your old hard drive to your new hard drive when you get one. And the thing is, you also want to make sure that you make recovery disks for your computer, especially if it's got built-in hard drive recovery, because that recovery will stay on the old hard drive when you put the new one in. So you want to make sure you create CDs or DVDs of that recovery media so that you can put it on the new drive. Like I said, I was talking about memory. This is your standard DDR3 memory stick. This is, I believe, a 2 gigabyte size memory. This was actually one of the original memory sticks that came out of the Cosmio X500 when I upgraded it. And this is usually a good idea if you want to improve the performance of your computer and This is absolutely necessary if you're a person like me that likes to use virtual machines. You know, if you use Microsoft Virtual PC or Oracle's VirtualBox, you'll definitely want to upgrade the memory, because you need that dedicated memory not only for the host operating system but the guest operating system you're running through the virtual machine. And it's also recommended, if you get a budget laptop that comes with the 2 gigabytes of memory, that you go ahead and upgrade that to 4 gigs or more, because you will enjoy the benefit of that and it will increase the performance of your computer greatly, because the 2 gigabytes of memory, I can guarantee you, will get eaten up very quickly in Windows on those laptops that come with 2 gigs. And your performance is going to diminish greatly, because your hard drive is constantly being written to increase the page file size, which is the virtual memory that Windows uses. And so that's going to significantly slow your computer down, especially if you got a memory-hungry application. So, now I was talking about one of the issues with upgrading memory and hard drives in computers. This applies to pretty much all netbooks and some of the budget laptops. Some of those computers do not allow upgrading of the hard drive or the memory. They're only designed to upgrade the battery if you want to replace it. Everything else is sealed. And the issue with that is that you have to be careful if you really want to consider upgrading the hard drive or the memory in those, because that will require you to physically open that computer up. And there's going to be at least one screw somewhere in there that has a warning tag over it that says that the warranty will be void if you remove it. So if you end up deciding to do that while you're still under warranty, you will void the warranty of that computer doing the upgrade. So it's at your own risk if you decide to do that. If you break something in the computer or something like that when you're doing it, they will not be covered under warranty, because you will have voided it when you do that. So you must keep that in mind if you tend to go that route. Okay, moving on. Now, also in one of my previous videos I talked about a Bluetooth dongle if you want to connect a Bluetooth to your computer if you don't have it built in. Now, the one that I showed is a standard size Bluetooth dongle, but what if you don't want to have to be carrying that around separately and dealing with such a big dongle to use Bluetooth? What if you want to just plug it in and leave it? Well, that's where something like this might come in handy. This is a Bluetooth mini dongle from IO Gear. Now today we're up to Bluetooth version 4.0. This is an older one. This only has Bluetooth version 2.1 on it, but it's still good enough for doing many Bluetooth related tasks, such as Bluetooth dial-up networking to a phone, or streaming audio to your computer from your phone, or streaming to a Bluetooth headset. You can also use your computer as a Bluetooth speakerphone for your phone. You can do Bluetooth file transfers between other computers and your phone or other devices. And a couple of other things if you all want to use a Bluetooth mouse or a Bluetooth printer or a Bluetooth keyboard. You might want to consider one of these. But this allows you to just plug it in and forget about it because of its size. This is what I use in the Asus X55A. Since it doesn't have Bluetooth on board, I just plug this in and leave it. And since we're talking about Bluetooth, I got another little thing from IO Gear right here, and it is a Bluetooth mini keyboard. Now this is primarily meant for tablets, because a lot of tablet computers don't come with their own independent keyboards on them. So if you want to do any documents or just want to browse the web, entering addresses quickly, doing email or something on a tablet, then it might be wise to pick up a Bluetooth keyboard like this. Now this is a mini-size keyboard, so it's not going to be a full-size one. This is the size keyboard you would find on a 9 or 10-inch netbook, so it's 87% of the full size. So the keys will be a little bit on the small side, especially if you have large fingers. Mine are kind of skinny, but even so, some of them can be a little big on these keys. The advantage is this is not a rechargeable one. It uses 2 AAA batteries, so if you run out of power, you can just quickly replace them instead of trying to charge it like some Bluetooth keyboards. And there is a 6 model memory. So you can put 6 different Bluetooth enabled devices on here. You can just hold the function key and press that to switch to the appropriate Bluetooth device that you want to control with the keyboard. So that's a Bluetooth keyboard. I already talked about wireless mice in one of the previous videos. Of course, that applies to Bluetooth mice as well. Put this aside. Put this over here. And of course, you can't be without a good thing of headphones or earbuds. You know, if you don't want to bother people around you in a noisy environment or something, you might as well be carrying a pack of headphones or earbuds with you. Especially if you don't like your own computer speakers. Now I say the biggest thing for last because there's a lot about this here. And the first thing I'm going to say is any college student out there should be carrying this here. And I'm about to talk about why. This is an Energizer XP 18000 portable battery pack. This is designed to recharge your laptop, a netbook, your cell phone or other device, or a DVD player, portable DVD player, a portable gaming console, maybe something like the PS Vita or the Nintendo DS, or other kinds of electronics like that. Right now I've got it charging, but basically it's an 18 amp hour lithium polymer battery encased inside here. And what it does, you can have several different outputs here. You've got a 9 to 12 volt output for things like portable gaming consoles, portable DVD players, a couple other things like that use 9 to 12 volt inputs. You can charge off of this. Below this, that's the charge connector there. Below that is your 5 volt USB hookup, so you can charge things like an Apple iPod. This is the iPod connector here. You can charge up things like your cell phone or other devices that would normally charge over a 5 volt USB. And you've got all kinds of connectors that come with it. It comes with a whole bunch of connectors. And below that is our 16 to 20 volt connection, and this is used for charging your netbook or your laptop. And again, it comes with several adapters. This is a adapter for the older style HP computers like the TX2000, DX1000, DB9000, those series computers. Just plugs into the end here, and then you plug this into your laptop, and that will charge the battery and give you an extended runtime so you don't run out of juice really quick. And again, there's like several different tips. This is the tip here. I mark some of these so I can quickly find out what they are instead of trying to guess which tip goes to which computer outlet. This is the one for an Acer, so if I had an Acer computer, I could just plug it into that and charge it. And this tip right here that's actually on the cable, this is your tip used for Toshiba and Asus computers. So again, I've got the Asus X55A right here. Its charge indicator's right here in the front. I plug this into the side, and now it's charging the computer. And so I can unplug the charge connection here, and it's still charging the computer. So it's charging right off the battery right now. And that will extend the life of the computer's runtime. The reason I say every college student needs to be carrying one of those, whenever I go to the library or something, I see students with wires going everywhere trying to get to an electrical outlet to keep their laptop going. And you know, it's kind of ridiculous, number one, trying to find an outlet. Number two, they're creating a tripping hazard with these cables going everywhere that people are tripping over. And you know, there's only so many outlets in a place, but carrying one of these around will help extend the life of using a laptop around. And there's several different sizes. This is the largest size that Energizer has, this 18 amp hour. They've got other ones that are 12 amp hours, 10 amp hours, 4, and then 1. I did have a small 1 amp hour, which is like just a 4 credit card size battery charger, but it was for 5-volt connections for charging phones and stuff. I don't know where that's disappeared to. But this has proven very useful for me, and it's something I highly recommend someone carry with them, especially if they need power for their devices when they can't find an available outlet. So that's pretty much it for this accessories video. I guess it'll be a while before I find more stuff, but see what I dig up by that time.